So growing up, I always used to really wish that I could be psychic. And I grew up watching Sylvia Browne on the Montel Williams show. So if you can relate to that, drop me a comment. But it was just like something that like I don't know. I was a little kid. It was something either I remembered or I craved or I desired. But I always wished that like I could somehow connect to something beyond this physical reality, right? The not seen. And so I finally got to an age where I realized this is something that I'm going to have to admire from afar, right? Like, I don't think that I was born with this gift, but in 2018, I was introduced to human design. And human design is a logical system that will tell you the type and shape of your aura based on your moment of birth. And I also grew up being an astrology girly, so I really was like, oh, I'm into this, right? Like if it's talking about my birth date and my birth time, I know a little bit about this, let me go down this track with you. So it was only a few months later that I was like all into the human design rabbit hole is what I call it, learning and researching and finding as much out as I could about this system. And I learned that human design is actually a synthesis of 4 ancient systems. Not only is Western astrology there, but also the I Ching, the Hindu-Brahmin chakra system, and mystical Kabbalah. There's also some quantum physics and human biology and sciencey stuff in there too, which as an Aquarius sun and moon, I'm really into that. Anyway, so using human design and studying it for coming up on 6 years now, I have learned how to read auras in like a systematic, logical way. And according to human design, there are 4 different aura shapes. We have 5 types, but only 4 auras. We have the generator aura, which encompasses both generators and manifesting generators. We have the projector aura, the manifestor, and the reflector. And it's knowing the shape and expression of your aura that gives you a strategy for life, a strategy for managing your energy based on that aura shape and how it interacts with your environment. A lot of times what will happen is we will observe in our environments the way that others function and we'll go, that's the right way. And whatever it is I'm doing is not the right way. So let me do what they're doing and maybe I'll get the results that they're getting. In human design, we call this conditioning. And so the best way to escape conditioning and get out of that whole toxic pattern is to understand your specific aura type, which you can pull for free pretty much anywhere. Just Google human design. If you want to make it super simple, I have it linked. And my website does link you to free video explanations on all of the whole chart. So it's just like a free mini reading with me. That's step 1. But once you've gotten past that step and you know what aura type you are and you are aware of your conditioning and the question is, how do I get out of it? The next logical step, according to human design anyway, is to recognize and have awareness of self versus not self. So self is anything in your chart that's colored in, okay? This is what's consistent for you, always has been, always will be. It's what you can rely on, but a lot of times it's what you take for granted. And not self, the potential lies in anything that's not colored in your chart. It means you look out into the world and you go, why do they have that and I don't? And you try to perform or act a different way so that, like I said, you can get the result that you're seeing out in your environments. And so 70% of people have this generator aura, this generator type. And so coming back to self for generators 1,000% of the time is going to be waiting to respond. That's your strategy. But what the hell does that mean? Waiting to respond means you have this open and enveloping aura. You're pulling everything towards you, good, bad, or otherwise, all of the time. And you have to be able to practice discernment, not using your mind, using an embodied response, checking in with your gut to make sure that the energy is here. And when I put my energy toward this, I will receive satisfaction in return. If it's not satisfying, inevitably it's going to be frustrating. So if you've been living your life in a way that makes you feel super depleted and that you need to rest a lot, or if you feel kind of out of touch with your body, this is your sign to let your desires lead a little more often. This is your sign to stop overthinking, get out of your head, and really go back into your body and go, what feels satisfying? what feels like I can't not do it? What do I feel magnetized to? And when did I start believing that that was the wrong thing to desire?